Call the Philippine Jesuit Aid Association at telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892. Once again, Philippine Jesuit Aid Association, telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa loob, sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Jescom Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang Socio-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan.
Get your daily dose of inspiration through our music. Follow Jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music in YouTube.
Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
The fire we reported at the old fire hall is still burning out of...
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B. Here on Mind Ed.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's
What's
hot
up, brother?
in the pop culture scene.
Even
here
Silva,
on
repping
Pop
the Bay
Area.
area.
Every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan.
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Welcome to The Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down! Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Follow at Radyo Katipunan in our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Mamangha sa lalim at ganda ng ating kultura at diwang makabayan sa mga salita at pahina. Sa tulong ng mga guro at manunulat ng panitikang Pilipino, halina't tuklasin ang yaman ng ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Ito ang Sari-Sari, tuwing Miyerkules, 11 ng umaga, dito sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Jesuit Music Ministry, music that uplifts the soul. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. The voice of W Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Kawan ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo. Todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil.
Welcome to The Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, Let's get ready to run down!
Alright, what is up? Kumusta na dyan mga Pinoy NFL fans? Special shoutout sa ating loyal listeners galing sa Wolves Football Club. Nagbabala na dyan si Tito Mart. Sabi niya kanina, Dag, salagot dito sino yun? Si Marty? Si Miguel. Yun. O basta, mamaya magkakaalaman yun. Anyway, once again, you guys are hanging out with your Tailgate Tropa. Special segment natin yan dito lang sa radyo-katipunan Sports where we cover anything and everything NFL. Of course, lagi kong kasama dito mga katropa ko. SS Steven Silva na ang ganda-ganda ng Bay Area jacket niya ngayon. And of course,
yeah. Trey Area.
Tito Mart's Coach Hammer in the house. So, guys, quick turnaround lang tayo. Last week, we just previewed the 2021 NFL Draft in just one day, in a single episode. So, accomplishment yan for me and Steven. And today, we're gonna be separating the busts from the studs. Draft recap po tayo ngayon. One day rin yan. One day rin. One episode lang. So, we're gonna review the teams who aced it, the teams who blew it, with the help of accompanying theme songs. So, maya-maya magkaka-special performance dito si Steven Silva. Babalik sa kanyang singing
Ako lang.
Ako, LSS din ako eh. LSS ako kanina nagbubuhat ako eh. Kaya, makakantahin ko pag napunta tayo doon.
Okay, game. So, Steven, Coach H, AFC muna tayo. My first big winner, and I think you guys are going to agree with me, the JJ's Jacksonville Jaguars. Ang dami nilang picks and they made the right ones per pick. So number one, awesome pick. QB1, alam na natin yan. He has the playbook of Urban Meyer already. Trevor Lawrence, slam dunk franchise QB. Great arm, great size, great athlete. Awesome composure. Pero Coach H, kakantahin ko na to. Nung kinuha nila si Travis Etienne, pumasok dun sa walkout song, "We United and it feels so good." Kasi, okay, Coach H, Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, reunited, pero eto na siya, he has his new version of Alvin Kamara, but with a lot more speed. Trevor and Travis back at it.
Well, Trevor and Travis back at it. Pwede mo sabihin, pero sunshine, I would be your baby boy. Pasok na pasok siya dyan eh. But, you know, when you get a franchise quarterback, a generational talent like Trevor Lawrence, we know that he has been a winner since high school, since Pump Warner, he has been a leader. And right now, having a franchise on his back, it would be interesting. And syempre, you got to understand how Urban Meyer did it. One of the best recruiters in college, he got blue-blooded players. These guys, all of the draft picks, if you observe, are part of really a very strong tradition when it comes to football programs.
Yep. And Steven, just to add to the offensive talent na Jacksonville was able to haul. Ito, he's not as talked about as the Rashawn Slaters, Elijah Vera Tucker, pero Stanford offensive tackle Walker Little lost 2 seasons because of injury, pero he still has big time potential.
Oh yeah, definitely. You still not the top end of the tackles, but still rated pretty high. And also, it's also a current signal to their current OTs on the roster, whether it's Cam Robinson, who's on a 1-year franchise deal, or right tackle Jawan Taylor, who's the former second-round pick, who suffered through a really bad season last year. This is the new guy in. And they didn't pick him at 45 overall just to sit on the bench. So they're trying to, of course, they have the quarterback like we talked about with Trevor Lawrence. It's now, okay, he's in place. We need the weapons, and then we need to protect him. And then this is, of course, the first step in doing that. Right.
Okay, and then wrapping up the picks for the Jaguars, defensive side naman of the ball, cornerback Tyson Campbell, again, underrated guy. Very, very speedy cornerback.
No ball skills. No ball skills, man. He could run fast, but if you watch him in Georgia, pag ganun dun, we're playing 3 level.
Speed kills.
You're jamming on the line of scrimmage, you're covering on the middle, but on the passes, you need to be able to turn your head on a swivel, flip your hips, and get into coverage. That is one thing that was surprising for me, especially Asante Samuel was there.
Pero at least, no, Tyson Campbell plus last year, CJ Henderson. That's a good, pretty good cornerback duo to have. Tapos, samahan mo pa yon, covering their pick for the safety position. I like this, Steven. Andre Cisco. Again, speedy guy out of Syracuse, one of the best safeties in the draft. I think Jacksonville, diba, a couple of years before, they were known to be Saxonville nga. It was about
Yes.
diba, the front line.
Yes.
But this one, parang I can see them building out from the back.
Well, they're going to need to because last season, you look at the stats, they're ranked 26th in the NFL in pass defense. They were giving up around 270 yards in the air per game. So, and this is going to help. Andre Cisco, you look at all the draft profiles for him, you keep seeing the word ball hawk. Ball hawk. He has a nose for the ball. The only worry I have is he's coming off an ACL injury, but he said in a recent interview he's about 85%. He should be ready to go for training camp. But in 24 games played, 13 interceptions. So what is that? If my math is correct, that's about an interception every other game. So that could definitely help. Turnovers in the NFL are huge. You can't score if you don't have the ball.
Right. And then, so again, Jacksonville Jaguars. If I was to grade this, at least an A plus. Parang they nailed it.
The mere fact that they got the number 1 pick, that's an A plus for them. The mere fact that they hit on Trevor Lawrence. Again, all of the draft pundits, all of the guys, including us that really watched the game. I hate how he did it to my Ohio State Buckeyes the past 2 years, but he is a generational talent. He is a pocket passer with legs for days, and he's a winner. That makes the draft, their draft class an A plus.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All
Ako
right.
naman, I don't like giving draft grades because I think draft grades don't come until maybe 2 or 3 years from now. But I feel like they hit a lot of their needs. And when you're picking number 1 overall, you have a lot of needs. So this is a good step forward.
Okay, so going now to our second big winner of the AFC, Miami Dolphins. Steven, I think you got to take volume 2 of Reunited, and it feels so good because Tua is backed with wide receiver Jalen Waddle. So Dolphins, they needed to get a weapon, diba? They needed to get a weapon for the development and success of Tua, and they found it in the big playability of Jalen Waddle.
Oh yeah, definitely. You really hope if you're the Dolphins that they can kind of reclaim some of that magic they had from Alabama. And I think it's also a big vote of confidence for Tua. There were some rumblings thinking, would Miami go with another quarterback? There was thoughts of that with a lot of these good high-end quarterbacks, but they traded back. They went to get a weapon. And, you could see like he has the speed, and not only as a receiver, he used to return punts. In 2019, he was named the SEC Special Teams Player of the Year. He returned a punt for 77 yards against LSU for a touchdown. Kickoff return for 98 yards against Auburn for a touchdown. So speed kills in the NFL. They got another weapon to add. And, that actually the Miami Dolphins, they've been stockpiling these good wide receivers. They have a pretty good room of talented wide receivers. So it's really now, Tua, you have the weapons. Later on the draft, I'm sure we're going to talk about it. They got some protection for him. So things are starting to shape up for Miami right now.
Yep. Ito magugustuhan ni Coach H. Miami, at the 18th pick, I think, hands down, they got, minus the injuries, he's the best defensive end or one of the best defensive players in the draft. Jalen Phillips, hometown boy from the U.
Mm-hmm. You know this, guys. I mean, pro athletes shouldn't be able to ride motorcycles, skateboards, rollerblades, bikes, anything that would put themselves in peril. These guys should be ferried or walk to practice. They should practice. They should work out. The offensive tackle of the Denver Broncos injured himself, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, because of a non-contact injury. Things like this, they should be very adamant. It would cost them millions. So I forgot his name, Jawan Jones. I need to check on my notes later. But Jalen Phillips is a specimen. This guy is a specimen. Was recruited as a middle linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end, a hybrid, and then gained so much weight. Still had the explosiveness in his body. He was a medical ano ba to, nag-retire, di ba? Because of a
Yes.
bike accident and then comes back looking strong. The key of this draft would always be the health of the players, the athletes. Nakita natin across the board, nasa Miami pa rin tayo, pero nakikita natin pa rin yung mga injury concerns. Especially with last year, ngayon ko lang narinig yung medical combine. I've never heard it in my
Same.
fandom that there is one day just for everybody to show up and get checked on the medical side. This was part of the combine, but mas adamant sila to check this. But Jalen Phillips might be the best pass rusher come 5 years time from this draft class.
Yun nga. And
Yes.
speaking of that medical combine thing, no, I'm so happy also. Isingit ko lang to. I know hindi to Dolphins ha, pero singit ko lang. I'm also happy for Caleb Farley. I mean, after all the back surgeries he had, diba? Tapos
COVID, man.
oh,
Well,
diba? Him and Jalen Phillips just being drafted, huge accomplishment for them. So, mabilis lang reviewing the picks for Miami. They also got, again, protection, gaya na sabi ni Steven, for Tua and Liam Eichenberg. And they also got a heat-seeking missile sort of safety in Javon Holland.
That's a good pick.
Easily, you know what, Greer, Brian Flores, they're just crushing back-to-back drafts na.
Yeah, and they got this tight end Hunter Long. Like,
Hunter Long too.
Could play on the line, can be a fullback, can block as an additional blocker, and could put Mike Gesicki on that two tight end set. He could play more of a detached tight end as a jumbo slot receiver. And he has been a playmaker for the past few years.
Right. Ito na,
Yeah.
Steven. I think you gotta sing our honorable mention tune.
Oh
It's
my God.
ikaw naman yung nasa radyo sa atin eh. BB
Ikaw
Rexa.
talaga dapat kumakanta. Ikaw lang yung gwapo sa atin na pwedeng kumanta. Makakalusot.
I don't
BB
even know
Rexa.
this song. Hindi ko alam yun.
Okay, anyway. Meant to Be is our theme song for the New England Patriots. Kasi
Oh, yes.
it was Mac no matter what, Sonny Weaver style. Mac Jones, Steven, tunnel walk pa lang, you could see him
Oh my gosh.
fitting the Bill Belichick mold. What do you think of this?
It fits. It fits. You know, we saw it. He seems like he's a patriot. It doesn't wow you with the athletic ability, but he gets the job done, you know. And I think it's a good situation for him in New England. He's going to be behind Cam Newton. Cam had an off year last season. He got hit with COVID. I feel like Cam is actually going to bounce back. They have a lot of new weapons there. And it's going to be his second year with the playbook. You know, he's going to be able to digest it more. Things are going to be quicker for him, getting the ball out, you know, just basically using that offense in the second year. I think it's the best because a lot of people don't talk about Mac Jones. They like to say, oh, Trey Lance only started 17 games. So did Mac Jones. He played mostly behind Tua Tagovailoa. So you got to bring him on. He has the potential. I think they have to slowly let him develop. And he goes to one of the best franchises in the NFL. What more could you ask for?
Parang ano siya eh, Steven, he's parang mac and cheese, painit mo lang, okay na, plug and play. He's your Drew
Tama.
Brees, di ba?
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Just give him some time. He'll come along.
And then how smart are these general managers drafting? You know that Bill Belichick has a pick. He wants pocket passers, he wants pressure on the line, and he wants his QB and running game protected. Simple as that. Simple as that. They gave them the smartest QB of the bunch right now. If you're just looking at football IQ, he is up there with Trevor Lawrence. He is a precise passer. He would surgically defeat defenses. You give him two tight ends, and then you put him on an offense where he can learn, and Josh McDaniels will make it easier for him. And Bill Belichick, oh my God, people will be hating him for the foreseeable future with Mac Jones and all these guys.
Right. And ito, Coach H, magugustuhan mo. Aside from Mac Jones, New England, this is pure evidence that Bill Belichick does not stray from his board. He found Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle. Diba? He thought, oh, he's too good to be there. Wait, baka pwede sa atin yan. Diba?
Well, the interesting tidbit about Christian Barmore. There were a lot of news swirling on his maturity, that he needs structure when it comes to playing, that Alabama needed to really assist him in his development as not only as a player but also as a person. And what team in the NFL has the stingiest structure that everything should be moving like clockwork? I mean, if I would be playing in the NFL, I would love to play in New England. You wake up, you do film, you put in the work, they would ferry you, you sleep, you do it again every day. Some people don't really enjoy it. It would burn you out, but for some, it's the perfect situation for them to grow. And Christian Barmore might be one of the steals in this draft if and only if the New England Patriots provide a conducive environment for him to grow.
Yeah, agree. Another fun fact about him is when he was asked how he picks his favorite teams, Barmore actually responded. He said, "I grew up rooting for Alabama and the Patriots. I love dominance and I love winners."
Yun.
So, perfect fit.
You saw his game film, two guys blocking him, and he's still plugging the gap, getting the running backs and providing pressure. This guy would be amazing as long as, again, there are a lot of things that needs to fall into place for him to be successful.
So, okay, Christian Barmore finds his structure, finds his, at least, diba, he has that great culture to build up on in New England. Pero si Tito Marts hindi siya pang New England, pang Euroleague yan, pang Serbia. Nax.
Walang visa. It was a preemptive trip. I was so excited. I would have played left tackle and fullback, but the COVID struck. Going back to the draft, wag mo na paalala.
Okay, balik na.
Focus.
Nightly, ang dami kong singit kasi, nightly notables, notables of the night. Sorry. I think, Steven, just by going through the sheer notable picks, the AFC won this draft. Parang ang daming, okay, so, ito, tingnan mo na lang, I know si Coach H, hindi siya believe dito, pero New York Jets, Zach Wilson, plus they get his protection in Elijah Vera Tucker. Pero here's what I like, Steven. Meron na naman tayong reunited and it feels so good.
Feels
Kasi
so good.
Joe Burrow,
Kasal yung natin Parang kasal yung post-draft assessment natin
eto, Joe Burrow reunited again with Jamar Chase. You know their special connection in LSU. Parang it makes me feel good about them passing up on Penei Sewell kasi they also got Jackson Carman, the guard.
No.
Nope.
The Jamar Chase pick. The Jamar Chase pick mattered more.
Alam mo,
like-
Anthony and Steve,
Coach.
they say that the most important part to a QB's passing game is for him to have somebody to catch the ball. Mali! The most important part about a QB to be able to have an effective passing game is for him to be able to pass the ball. It's simple as that. If he can't stay in the pocket, if he is always on his back, and if he would always meet these guys or 300, 280 pound guys in front of him, napakahirap umasa nun. That's the most important part for me.
Agree. I think that was the big thing coming into the draft. You know, we knew the first couple picks, quarterback with the Niners. When it got down to the Bengals, it was, are they going to go wide receiver? Are they going to go offensive tackle? I totally agree with Coach. You have Penei Sewell, who some people are already saying this guy is a future Hall of Famer. He's a transcendent tackle. And we talked about it on the previous episode. He's an offensive tackle, but he's an extremely gifted athlete. Let's not forget, he can move. He's big. He has the strength. And what Coach said, how is Burrow going to be passing these passes to his wide receivers if he's constantly under pressure? Again, let's not forget, he's coming off an ACL injury because last year they couldn't protect him. This might become a trend if they don't. Obviously, they went later in the draft with Jackson Carman, but he's not Penei Sewell. Let's not kid ourselves.
Uso, di ba? It's the spread offense. Everybody wants to play fast break basketball. Everybody wants to play 7 seconds or less. Shoot from the 3-point area. Everybody wants to bomb it down the field. But if you look at the past 3-4 years in the NFL, the guys who won are the best offensive line players. And last year, and Damakung Su was there. All of the guys from the defensive line and the front seven of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you're, it's a short-sighted league. Kailangan maiksi ang maiksi ang memory span mo. Sino ba yung nanalo last year? Tampa Bay threw everything in the kitchen sink. to Patrick Mahomes, 500 yards laterally. If he was playing rugby, he would have been a very effective fullback. But he was playing football and he's the quarterback. If you're moving around the pocket, even if you're as fast and as talented as Joe Burrow, it would be a problem.
Okay,
Yep.
so I guess that's where we digress. Pero
Agree.
meron pa akong notables of the night. Daanan ko lang dito. Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. So Pittsburgh's they're back to that running the ball, playing physical type of thing. Indianapolis, they get an edge disruptor in Kwity Paye, pairing up with DeForest Buckner on that defensive line. Pero ito yung favorite ni Coach H dito, Buffalo Bills. Ito memorable sa akin kasi si Greg Rousseau. Just how long is Greg Rousseau? So when he was walking out of that tunnel, greeting the fans, Steven, he didn't have to bend to shake the hands of the fans trying to reach up at him. All he had to do was just walk by them. Parang nakaganon lang siya. Parang just touching his hands along the line.
Oh my
You saw his
gosh.
hand. You saw his hand. His hand was almost as big as the hand of Jason Pierre-Paul pre-fireworks. This guy is a massive. Yeah, you could understand that he lost some of his pop from last year. Of course, it's a year off. You don't know if he trained as much as he would if he stayed with the Hurricanes, if he stayed with the U. But this guy is a specimen. Put him beside Jerry Hughes and that linebacker core in Buffalo, it's problems for days sa mga makakalaban ng Buffalo Bills.
Right, back-to-back defensive line players for Buffalo last year. AJ Epinesa, more of a inside ground and pound sort of guy. Greg Rousseau, a mountain of a man. Okay, so Steven, meron pala tayong bonus track for the AFC. Yung
ano yan?
yung classic na to reach the unreachable star. Kasi yung Raiders reach sila ng reach. Last year it was Damon Arnett. This year naman Alex Leatherwood. Steven, knock on wood if
Oh
we
my
love to reach
gosh.
for picks, man.
Well, first off, hindi ko gets yung playlist mo, Anthony. I really don't. No, but and also I don't get these picks with the Raiders. I think the Raiders right now, they think they're the smartest guys in the room, but everybody is just looking at them and they're scratching their heads. We were all watching the broadcast. I remember we were messaging in our group during the picks. If you watch that broadcast, there was silence after the pick was announced for a good 4 to 5 seconds. I think everyone was just sitting there like, who is this guy? What? Because it's becoming a trend. You know, it's the third year for Mike Mayock as the GM. 2019, they go Cleveland Farrell, 4th overall. And you have guys on the board like Devin White, Josh Allen, the linebacker, Devin Bush. Last year, Henry Ruggs goes 12th overall. You have guys like Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson still on the board. And now we go Alex Leatherwood. These picks are making everyone scratch their head, not just the NFL guys, but us fans. Because, you know, I'm all for getting your guy, but there's such thing as, you know, reaching too far. And I think the Raiders are starting to do that. It's starting to become a trend. I don't like it.
Knock on wood if you don't like it.
Knock on wood if you don't like it. I don't like it.
You know, my good friend, si Mix de la Peña, is a big Raiders fan. I've been teasing him the whole time. Naman itong mga to, may trabaho ako manood ng sports. I was watching the draft with you guys, and I was messaging him. I told him, what is up with your guys? But it's part of the DNA of the Raiders. They want it big. They want Jake Gruden. Gruden wants his offensive line to be big, strong, and bullies. Alex Leatherwood can be a plug-and-play guy on the right tackle, on the right guard spot. They could run behind him with their running back crew right now. Josh Jacobs, some of the guys they signed. But there are too much talent. They got Tevin Jenkins right there for your picking. You have an enormous amount of defensive guys still available. You had a running back also there with Najee Harris, but again, they don't veer away from their draft boards. It's simple as that. And it's they go into the college football playoffs. They watch the game. Mike Mayock picks the guys that he likes and doesn't do other scouting. And he's a draft guy.
Yun nga lang, reach na naman sila ng reach. Baka, yun lang, mamaya reach ka ng reach, wala ka na ring maabot na panalo eh.
Alam mo, sinong ganyan? Si Pilita Corrales. Pala yung reach sa likod. Magugustuhan ng mga Jesuit brothers natin yun.
Ganun. Okay, so switch naman tayo over to the side of the NFC where I have alam ko gusto niyo itong dalawa eh. My first big winner of the NFC, the Chicago Bears. Steven, I have may rap ako para dito sa Chicago Bears eh. Siguro yung sabi ni Matt Nagy dito. This draft is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% guts to take Justin Fields.
Hey! I like. Finally, may nag-hit. Finally. Third time is the charm.
Pero
tama din yan!
Steven, gutsiest move of the night. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Diba? I mean, yun, steal na yun eh. This is the steal of the night. Diba?
I feel like we could be looking back at this 3-4 years from now, and we're gonna wonder how everybody passed on Justin Fields. There was even talks of Carolina possibly getting him after getting Sam Darnold. They traded up from 20 to get him. I say, well, he talked about it. One of his number one strengths, he said, is, I like to show up in the big moments. When the big moments present themselves, I feel like there's another thing that kicks inside of me. They gave up 1st and 5th round picks this year, 1st and 4th round picks. But what does it mean if you get the franchise quarterback? Chicago hasn't had a franchise quarterback since, Jay Cutler? Some people even say Sid Luckman back in the 40s. That's too long. Chicago is, especially they're a team. I've been talking to a friend of mine in the U.S. who's a big Bears fan. He's from Chicago. He loves the pick, and he's excited because they finally have somebody to push that offense. The defense has just been waiting. They're like, I don't know, guys. We're holding up our end of the bargain. You're wasting the talent of these defensive players. The Khalil Max that you traded for a couple years ago. He has the toughness. He has the speed. How often do you have a guy that can run a 4.40 at the quarterback position? And of course, from the Ohio State, he played in a lot of big games. I'm a fan. I am a Justin Fields fan. Coach, ikaw na. I know you have a lot to say here.
I am so happy for my friend Doc Chris Onciano. He is in Chicago right now. And I sent him a message to get me a Justin Fields jersey, and he obliged. Two guys who are the most happy, Doc Chris, my good friend, and Allen Robinson. Finally, the ball will be coming his way whenever he goes on that 9 route. Every time he goes for an outside release, no underthrown balls, Allen Robinson will be a very happy man, and he will be making plays this year.
And Steven, Coach H, just to add to this, not only Justin Fields, but they found Mr. Big Country, Tevin Jenkins, the size, the power, the brute strength, and the attitude, the nasty, diba? To play. I think he's going to play more guard in the NFL. But again, Justin Fields, and then you pair him up with Tevin Jenkins. Scary.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. Again, you get the quarterback, you have to protect him. But it looks like he might be thrown straight into the fire because after this pick, the Bears actually released their left tackle, Charles Leno. He's been their starting tackle since 2015, so they're going to put him right into the fire. I was looking at some of the stats. He's only played about 18% of his snaps at left tackle, so there might be a little bit of a struggle with him. I think he'll be good in the run game. You got the big frame, like you said, very nasty. He finishes his blocks, but he might struggle against those speed rushers and, of course, just protecting the passer. But a lot of potential. I'm excited to see how he performs at the next level.
Yeah. All right, so going now to ito, second big winner ko for the NFC. It's not as as popular as the other teams' draft hauls, pero the G-men, the New York Giants. Take a look at this, Coach H. Wide receiver Kadarius Toney. Then they get the defensive end in Azeez Ojulari from Georgia, and then they trade up to get cornerback Aaron Robinson. On different spots on the field, they're filling in these gaps. The New York Giants.
Yep. Hey, it's a Galladay. Kenny Galladay would be killing it this year. You know why? Kadarius Toney can be plugged in as a slot receiver. He could be plugged in as a gadget guy. A little Tavon Austin in him. I called this pick, Steven. You know it. I called this pick. Kadarius Toney would be perfect for that for that two back sets for them. Saquon Barkley is a very good pass catcher from the backfield. Pair him with a speedy guy in Kadarius Toney. This would be a very interesting for them. David Gettleman never trades back. He traded back and still got one of the best pass rushers in the second round. One of the value picks in this draft. He is a medical question mark, if you want to put it that way. But for the most part, Kadarius Toney can be a gadget guy for them. Hopefully, this would bode well for the G-Men.
Right.
Yeah, one thing also just to chime in, Coach, you called it. Good call. Another thing is also, of course, we were talking about Kyle Pitts, who went really early in the draft, the tight end. A lot of guys actually started seeing Kadarius Toney when they were watching film of Kyle Pitts because they kept watching and they said, who is this guy? Number one, he's flying over all over the field. He's making plays even without the ball. The speed, you see it in the open field. Daniel Jones, it's year 3 for him. He's got another set of weapons. Saquon's going to come back from the ACL. So, it's that third year. This is where the quarterbacks need to make that jump. We saw the big jump that Josh Allen made last year with the Bills. So the clock is ticking. It's year 3. They might have to make a decision if Daniel Jones doesn't make some more progress moving forward.
Right. Steven, you said it best. Kadarius Toney, he is dangerous with the ball in his hands. Yes. He is electric. So
who he reminds me of? This guy from, I don't know if you know him from Kansas, the guy who runs fast. They call him Cheetah. When he first came in, he is the exact same guy if you watch their film in college. He goes in the backfield, he plays the slot, plays in special teams. This guy has that speed. I'm more sold to him than Jalen Waddle.
Right, okay.
I'm more sold to Kadarius Toney than Jalen Waddle.
I was thinking more maybe like Percy Harvin. Also from Florida.
That guy is crazy, man. Percy Harvin in college. Oh my God. How dare
that
you?
Shorter frame,
How
fast.
dare you? Yo.
Let's see though. Let's see.
Like kasi parang Tyreek Hill is here. Percy Harvin is here. My pro comparison would be, I'm just keeping it moderate, Joey Galloway. Back in Tampa Bay. Baka ganun pa, that sort of mold. But anyway, eto na, dito tayo magtatagal. This was where we sort of had our point of contention last week. For my honorable mention pick, of course, we got to go back to the Bay. San Francisco 49ers. Steven, sing it with me. When I saw Trey, and I'm a believer.
Tama na, Ernst. Tama na.
Steven. Si mga teacher mo ng music class no college at high school.
Okay, eto na. So, seriously, Steven, Trey Lance, there's always going to be issues surrounding him, whether it's improving mechanics, ball placement, deep accuracy. Tapos him only starting X number of games, only taking 318 pass attempts. Pero I'm sort of taking this into more of a positive light kasi Trey, okay, you can comment all those things about Trey, pero there's two things in him that you can't coach. Number one, it's physique and athleticism. He's 6'3", 221, and given the Shanahan connections with the Redskins, he measures comparably, very eerily similar to RG Free out of Baylor, 6'2", 220. So I think that's where they got the mold itself. Pero here's something that takes it beyond for me. Not the physique and athleticism. Pero Steven, it's, I think, what Niners fans will love about this young fella. Class, poise, maturity. Just from his 10-minute press conference alone, you know he's got this calm demeanor about him. He was mature with his responses, high-level character guy. But when he was asked about, what do you plan to do over here right now? He just said, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. It's 1 hour, one night, night one. I'm just here to learn. And I think that's where us Niner fans would sort of bank on. Not only that physique and athleticism, but that class, that maturity beyond his peers.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try not to talk too long. I know I could talk about this for hours on end. No, I'm just really happy that they took a swing. If you would have went Mac Jones, like a lot of the experts were saying, I feel like that would have been settling. This is going for the home run. This guy has the highest ceiling in the draft, above average athletic ability, big arm. You saw a lot of the highlights. He's running, he's knocking guys over. He's gonna have to adjust the game a little bit. He has a lot to learn. He's only 20 years old, but I like what you said. I think the 49ers brass came out, they fell in love with the player, but they also like the type of person that they're getting. You can just see it from his interviews, way mature than his years. And I like what Jimmy Garoppolo said recently. He hasn't been very vocal, but he was doing some interviews, and he's also comparing it to how he was with Brady. He said it's coming full circle. You go through the NFL, you start as this young guy coming in. He had Brady that kind of showed him the ropes, and the competition between them he said that made him a better player. And then he also said, I know how it was coming from an FCS school to the NFL. There's a big adjustment, the speed, it's just different. So whatever I can do to help him, I'll be more than happy. Because for sure, the 49ers, they're going to want to see Trey Lance. He's not going to sit on the bench the whole year. This isn't Jordan Love. They're going to find a way to get him onto the field, whether it's goal line situations, third down packages. They're going to try to find a way. And I'm kind of worried because if Jimmy starts playing poorly, if he comes out very slow, starts throwing some interceptions, has some bad games, people are going to start, shouting, Trey. So, again, it's going to be very interesting. But as a 49ers fan, I hope they take it very slowly with Trey.
Development is the key. And Steven, just you can tell a lot by how a player surrounds himself with, other players. Pero here, Trey Lance's agent, Tom Condon, also represented Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and one of your favorite Niners, Alex Smith. Oh. So you kind of get to see what kind of high-level character this guy has just by the people representing him. Pero ito, mas magugustuhan ni Coach H. Coach H, I know the Trey Lance pick, medyo ano tayo doon, pero here, I think they're going to...
He hates it.
They're going for the Lamar Jackson type of offense with Trey Lance. You get an Aaron Banks, big, overpowering online guy, plus adding Trey Sermon from Ohio State on the interior. I think this is going to be a physical, parang just an athletic, physically dominant.
Even they're an athletic team. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, you have George Kittle right there. You have Jalen Hurd once he's healthy. You could put all these guys. You could go empty back set for them, and somebody can run from the back end with your new quarterback. But you know what Niner fans like? Winning. You know what they like? Winners. You know what they want? They want to see it on film. I personally do not like the pick because I was looking forward to Justin Fields being with the Niners. He would have looked so good in those jerseys. So good with George Kittle. I mean, I'm not going to knock the pick. They wanted it. He is a high character guy, but you want people to shout Trey, not trade. Let's put it that way. Put it that way. I want to revisit this draft pick 3 years down the road. Once we do another live stream with this, I want to see how this would pair out with Justin Fields, the one that got away, and Trey Lance.
Ay, nako, we'll see. Yun lang ang sagot natin dyan, di ba? Parang ano lang yan, 2012, RG Free, di ba? Andrew Luck, yun yung mga,
So, sino siya? Sino ba siya? Si RG3 ba siya? O si Andrew Luck? Malalaman natin yun after 3 years. But I like what you said with their O-line. They are one of the nastiest O-lines. You have the silverback in Trent Williams, who just got resigned to a very big 5-year deal. They have Mike McGlinchey. Trey Sermon is an underrated draft pick for them. Remember, this guy had production in Oklahoma, transferred to Ohio State, had to split the backfield with Master Teague. He still had production, and he was very good. You could arguably say that they had a better chance if they didn't got injured in the college football playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, just quickly for me, I didn't like the Trey Sermon pick because they traded up for it. You're getting a running back in the 3rd round, and I feel with Shanahan, he has such a good track record of getting value, especially out of undrafted free agents. You look at some of the guys they still have on the roster: Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Matt Breida, who's now with the Dolphins, all undrafted free agents, and they succeeded in Shanahan's run-oriented offense. So I don't like the pick, but hey, he's on the team now. I hope for success. And going on what Coach said, I think a lot of these picks, you know, you look at Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, Trey Sermon, they're big guys with a lot of smash mouth. We're going to get a couple yards, keep the ball moving. So I like it. He's on the team now, so I definitely am going to hope for his success.
I thought, Steven, I'm pretty sure if we go over my some of my notables of the night, you're gonna like this pick because it's Detroit. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? Penei Sewell. Okay, you got Penei Sewell as your left tackle, and now on the other side of the ball, Levi Onwuzurike at defensive tackle. I mean, Detroit got a pair of butt kickers. I mean, that's my perfect description for them. These guys are big nasties, and but you kind of love how Detroit is building. It's true to their nature. You know, it's the blue collar, grind it out type of city. And they got it in Penei and Onwuzurike.
Yeah, what was it that Dan Campbell, the new head coach for the Lions, said? He wants his players to go out there and eat up kneecaps, basically just be hard-nosed. And you get that with both of these players. You know, Penei Sewell, we talked about him earlier. He's projected already to be a Hall of Famer. You know, obviously, let's see him play first. But we talked about it. He's been compared to Trent Williams. That's such a great comparison right there. He's an athlete, good size, foot quickness. If you watch a lot of his highlights, he's not just sitting still. He's getting to the second level. He's taking on the linebackers, the safeties, and going over to the other side of the defense. Levi Onwuzurike. I can't say that, but you know, he controls the middle. Very explosive. And then they said, what do you like about playing football? And I can't say this on air, but he says, I like bleeping people up. That tells you a lot of how he plays the game of football. And some considered him the best defensive tackle in the draft. There weren't too many high-profile defensive tackle guys in this draft. But again, the Lions, they were in the bottom of the league, both in passing and rushing defense. So this is a good step forward. You get that guy in the middle. He's going to push bodies around. If he's not going to get a play for himself, he's going to free it up to other players. So that should help a lot.
Can't wait to see those improvements. Ito, Coach H, I'm sure you kind of like this too. Philadelphia Eagles, they get Devontae Smith. Again, the undersized, underweight thing doesn't worry me too much because they have experience with Deshaun Jackson already with that. But here, Landon Dickerson, aside from the medical flaws, he's got size, athleticism, and strength, and he could be one of the best centers for the Eagles pretty soon.
Yeah, you could use the term again, plug and play. You could play right guard, left guard first until Kelsey retires as their center. Of course, Hall of Fame career, Jason Kelsey. But I like the Devontae Smith pick. Everybody keeps on talking on his weight. Again, two things that you want your receivers. You want them to get out of the line of scrimmage and get separation and to catch the damn ball. This guy doesn't drop passes. Simple as that. Guy's athletic, big hands, very tough on the point of contention when it comes to catching high points the ball. You need receivers who don't run fast. I don't care if you run fast. Number one, I need you to separate. And number two, I need you to catch the ball. I know people who could separate but run fast but can't catch a ball to save their life. It's simple as that. If you can't catch a ball, you're not playing wide receiver. You're with the defensive backs.
Alpha baller itong si Devontae Smith. I mean, it just goes and goes. It was Steven from Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs last year, and then you got Devontae and Waddle this year. Just the receiving talent that Alabama's built, diba?
At saka simple. This guy's a straight baller. Remember the game-winning drive that put Tua Tagovailoa in the conversation as one of the finest pocket passers, one of the finest QBs in college. The guy who received that ball, freshman Devontae Smith. Freshman making plays on the biggest stage on overtime. Simple as that.
Yeah. And it goes to show how much they valued him. Eagles GM Howie Roseman said, he said in a recent interview, you know, Alabama had 4 first-round picks at wide receiver on their team in 2019. But you look at who kept getting the ball, who had the most targets on the team. It's Devontae Smith. Yeah. So that shows you a lot. Last season, Heisman winner, 117 catches, 1,800 yards, 23 touchdowns. You can say what you want about his body, that he's smaller. The production is there. The route running is there. Like Coach said, he catches the ball. He doesn't drop it. So we'll see. I'm excited to see him prove people wrong.
Cross-sport reference, same size, smaller guy who took on defenders, who put Philadelphia on the map. The
Iverson.
Allen
Iverson. I knew it.
You
I knew you were gonna say
you
it.
question production. There's something wrong with you. There
You
is
got a
something
question?
wrong with you.
AI's got the answer. Wasn't that his nickname, the answer?
Yep.
Oh, yun. There you go. Yeah, I like it.
5'11", 160 pounds, but you
Ito,
know,
6'1", 166. They don't care. They would play. They would take the contact. As long as they play, I'm good with that.
right.
I think,
Alright,
fun fact, I think Iverson used to play wide receiver in high school before he
QB
switched
wide
full-time.
receiver.
Yun,
QB wide
yeah.
receiver.
Before
Best.
he switched full-time to basketball.
Bethel High. Anyway, so before we forget pala, notable of the night also, Dallas Cowboys absolutely killed it with the Micah Parsons pick. They needed that.
Yes.
And sinamahan pa nila ng cornerback, Kelvin Joseph. So, Dallas D getting some huge improvements over there. Pero ito, before we end our talk for this afternoon, okay, Steven, what's more likely? Aaron Rodgers returning to the Green Bay Packers or Aaron Rodgers hosting Jeopardy next year?
I vote for Jeopardy. It's starting to get
I second the motion.
really,
I
diba?
second the motion.
It's starting to get really choppy right now. I think they're at a crossroads with Aaron Rodgers because I saw a report, he's really unhappy. He just doesn't, I don't know if he really wants to be there anymore. He's kind of at a crossroads with the team. And not only that, Aaron Rodgers has all the leverage in the situation. If he leaves that team, are they going to throw Jordan Love out there who hasn't played a snap yet in the NFL? They're going to go from a possible champion playoff team to a middle of the pack if they lose Aaron Rodgers. You're talking about the reigning MVP. If I were the Packers, I'd be very careful with what I do going forward because if Aaron Rodgers is gone, that Packers team just goes downward. There's no going up from that.
Right.
Well, they've been in the conference championship the past 2 years. They fell short for a bit. They fell short to the Niners. They were grounded and pounded, but you can't blame Aaron Rodgers for that. Yeah, he did a misread on the fourth down of that past year's play, but the end of the day, you remove Aaron Rodgers from the squad. How would they score points? You don't have receivers. You lost David Bakhtiari to an injury. You lost Corey Linsley to free agency. What would Adam Jones do? What would Jones do? I mean, can he run? What 300 yards in a game with Jordan Love as a pocket passer? I mean, for consolation, they got Amari Rodgers, of course, Trevor Lawrence's most trusted receiver for Clemson, but all the leverage is with Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully he would be in Denver. I want to see Denver flying again.
Yung mga nag-draft kay Davante Adams last year sa fantasy ng first round, siguro ngayon mga 4th round na lang, 5th round na lang. Kasi wala nang pumapasa sa kanya. Pero
sobrang simple nun. Kung walang papasa, paano ka magkakaroon ng production? Hindi ka mahahanap ng QB. It's as simple as that. All the moving pieces, it all relies to the game plan and how the QB reads it on offense. Simple as that. On defense, you could run crazy. They could call a cover 2, cover 3, and then you could blitz all the way if you're on the line. If you're a linebacker, you could just read and plug the holes. But on offense, it's very surgically precise.
Like my takeaway from this, Steven, I'm trying to think of a second career for Aaron Rodgers. Like you know how younger people of the younger generation, siguro mga teenagers now, when they see Michael Strahan on TV, he's the host of Good Morning America. They don't know that he was a New York Giant.
Taking heads. He was taking heads out.
Exactly.
Like for Aaron Rodgers, I think he would have his second career would be like people saying, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers, the host of Jeopardy." They wouldn't. Then when they look him up on Wikipedia, he played for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, he plays football.
And he is multiple-time MVP.
He won a championship. Okay, that's cool. No, for Aaron Rodgers, obviously, he doesn't need the money anymore. Financially, he's set. Again, I think Aaron Rodgers could literally step away from the NFL tomorrow. Hall of Fame is guaranteed. One of the best quarterbacks we've seen in our lifetime. He has nothing to lose in this situation. So, and I think for the Packers, they have everything to lose if Aaron Rodgers walks away. And let's say he goes to another team. I like what Coach said. I would love to see him with the Broncos. Put him there with all those wide receivers. Finally, they have someone to get them the ball. You know, obviously the Drew Lock situation, yeah, I think it's already done. They've seen that he can't handle it. You put Aaron Rodgers in there. Even the 49ers, there were some rumors going around that they wanted to trade that number 3 pick, try to get Rodgers. Of course, they didn't bite. They said, no, we want more than that. Aaron Rodgers has always made it known that he wanted to play in the Bay Area, kind of had that chip on his shoulder coming out of Cal that they didn't pick him number 1 overall. So, again, Packers have everything to lose here. Really, it's another QB drama that I'm sure we're all going to be watching.
And we're gonna be talking about that pretty soon on our next edition of Tailgate Tropa. Pero yun nga lang ang sabi ni Tito Terry Bradshaw, weak ka Aaron, weak.
It's a different generation. If you're Terry Bradshaw, you played with
Mean
so
Joe
much
Green.
Hall of Famers. You played with a steel curtain. I mean, you could speak that way. That's one thing. But if you're competing at this, you have almost a barren roster. And ang hirap manalo if they keep on cutting wide receivers, they don't reinforce your offensive line, they refuse on paying people. The only first round guy that he passed the ball to was Mercedes Lewis out of UCLA, and that was a decade ago in the first round.
Yeah, different times.
What are you doing, man?
So Aaron, 500 for what is separation? What is goodbye? Taken. Okay, anyway. So before we end pala, I just want to read our fan mail. Like fan mail, 90s.
Wow.
90s. Snail mail ba? O the P.O. Box?
Batiin ko lang si Auntie Jen and Lester for tuning in. Good afternoon sa inyong dalawa. Uy,
Hey,
hindi
guys.
nag-comment ang Wolves ngayon. Ano ba yan? Wala tayo.
Kasi nagko-comment kasi naka-ready pa yan sa next stream daw natin kasi may mga trabaho. But of course, they're always supporting us. And we have our own sa chat group, maraming sinasabi. Sabi ko, magsabi kayo during the stream. Puro kayo kwento eh.
Oo nga. Anyway, sige. Batiin mo na lang sila, Coach H, before we end. Shoutouts and greetings. Go ahead.
Well, last take, I like what the Carolina Panthers did. Of course, they got JC Horn. They got my boy Tommy Trumbull. I like it how they did it. They got Terrence Marshall out of LSU. Had an underrated draft. I'm giving them a fighter's chance and protecting Sam Darnold. And to all of you guys, I love doing this every Wednesday. Hopefully, you guys stay healthy, and we'll see you at the soonest.
Yo, nice. Steven, go ahead.
I don't really have any shout outs, just a thank you to everybody who's been listening, commenting to our little show here. I always love doing it with you guys. And last but not least, I'm so thankful we didn't take Mac Jones at number 3. That is all. Seriously, I was watching the draft. We were chatting during the draft. Sabi ko, basta anybody, just not Mac Jones at 3. So I'm happy that didn't happen.
Kaya nga, di ba? When I saw Trey, then I'm a believer. Okay, tama na.
Alam mo, Anthony, shout outs to all the Hammer Hydration people, all our friends, at dun sa barbero ni Steven, finally giving him a haircut this week.
Ayun, napansin mo, Coach. Thank you. Sir George, maraming salamat.
Ano ba yung kanyang, what is motivation for that? The K-pop hairstyle for Steven this week. I like it. Two thumbs up with a Niners jacket.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you noticed.
Oh. Speaking of K-pop, meron tayong aabangan dito na teleserye. It's all about the QB drama. We're all waiting to unfold. Abangan natin yan. Hopefully next month mapag-usapan natin. Okay, so Coach H, Steven, once again, thank you so much. Aking mga ka-tailgate tropa. See you guys next time. Peace. Ingat tayo. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Welcome to the Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down! We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at radyo-katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Just with Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow